Hello there, everybody, and welcome to session one of our little teeny tiny mini adventure of The Rot Inside. Such a pleasant name. It's very good. It's very good. We did a good job in naming that. I am, of course, your DM of Doom for today. I am Oops All Brands, and with me today here you can see I've got three lovely, pleasant, beautiful faces here who are hopefully all going to make it out alive. We have very obviously, you can see, returning from their little hiatus, we have got Ash Howard Music over here. We've missed you here, Ash. We really, really have. But we've also got some new faces in the game. I'm going to hand over to them in just a little second to let them introduce themselves. But first off, I just wanted to say to everybody that's coming along to season this, thank you for coming along. Thank you for waiting patiently. Come and see us. We've got quite a little adventure here for you. I just do want to say, just before we get into playing that, as is evident in the name, that there is themes of plague and disease infestation in this. So if that is something that does make you uncomfortable in any way, shape or form, please be prepared that there are going to be some descriptions of those kind of themes, as well as the usual fare that you can expect of horror games on this channel, that being depictions of gore to a certain extent, as well as some other not so nice and rainbows and unicornsy. So if that is not something that's up for you, then by all means please do step away. We won't hold it against you. But if you are okay with those things, then by all means stay, and we hope you enjoy it. Now, I'm going to let my two new players introduce themselves and tell all you lovely people where you can see their lovely faces. I will. Do we have a volunteer out of our two new faces, or am I being the bad guy that picks?
I don't want to interrupt. I can interrupt if you want.
Go ahead.
Hi, my name's Rhiannon Eliza. As Bran said, I am new here and really excited to get involved. Where you can find me on TikTok and Instagram is usually under the name Rhiannon Eliza, but also via my page Sisters in Swords. We have swords. It's me and my friend Kaylee. We have a good time.
Thank you very much for that, Rhiannon. I loved the description, being deep down what every single D&D person really is. It's just, yeah, my friends, we have swords.
Yeah. It's like
great.
that is the full cover of my genre.
What's the selling point here? Sword?
Swords. Friend. We like to hang with both friend and the swords.
We are good with the sword and the
friend. It's like, good with the friend. Much more practice needed with the sword, but absolutely.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for that, Rhiannon. And our last, but most certainly not our least, new face. Introduce yourself to our lovely audience.
Hello everyone, I'm Luana, aka the Witchboard, everywhere and anywhere. This is so much fun to be here. I am a huge nerd, and if you know my work and TikTok and stuff like that, you know that my page is just nerdy things, all kinds of them. And it's been a hot second since I played D&D on stream, so I'm excited to be back as well. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely over the moon to have both of you here today. This is going to be a little bit of a different step for anybody that is used to seeing the other shows that we have here on World Tree Quests. It is still going to take place in our lovely little homebrewed setting of Atuma, but it's not going to be in the past, and it's not going to be in the kind of epic fantasy timeline. It's also not going to be in our apocalypse timeline. It's going to be about 5,000 years ahead of that. This is going to be the first insight you will see into Atuma's future. Now, this is actually quite a kind of full circle little moment, because of all of my players that I have in all of my campaigns, Nobody's ever played in more than one time zone. Except Ash. Ash, who plays in the Forming on Monday nights, takes place in the origin of the world, is now going to be playing in this adventure, which takes place in the furthest flungs of the future that has been written for it. So Ash is going to be present at the beginning and quote-unquote the end. So yeah, without further ado, I think we're going to go into a little bit of setting the scene. Once everything works the way it's supposed to, there we go. Welcome to Shoremont, the pinnacle of creation, the city of the future where the lights are always on. About 5,000 years after the fall of darkness, the age of darkness has passed, and Atuma has found its way back into a new light. The light of Arctech. Artificed magic. Mana in a can. Magic for the everyday man. The world has changed. But it's not entirely for the better. With magic available to any for the right price, the gods have all but departed, only a sparse few remaining. Those who did leave, their domains grew wildly out of control, and a world once the pinnacle of harmony became ravaged by primal forces, infernal machinations, abyssal monstrosities, and waves upon waves of the now unbridled and unrestrained undead. The world needed those who would risk all to save it. The world needed those who would lay life and limb on the line with little to no reward promised. The world needed heroes. And so came the Order of the Axe and Flame. They held back the waves of relentless enemies long enough for the 7 major cities on the continent of Sivalona. The people heralded them as the heroes of a new age. And so it became that while the military would protect the walls and the guard would protect the streets, the Order of the Axe and Flame guarded the material from the immaterial. Now in a world where magic is for anyone, with a hefty to incredibly hefty price tag, the arcane arts are no longer what they used to be. Where wizards once studied under scholarly towers, there are now gangs running the streets. Where warlocks were once shunned in society, they are now paraded, held aloft as methods of entertainment, collectibles. Where sorcerers were the pride of their family, now the hidden shame. Druidic and natural magics have all but disappeared. Artificers have gone from being the misunderstood cousins of wizards to being the elite of society's magical and arcane scholars. And bards? Well, bards are very much the same. However, with the invention of this wonderful new technology, known simply as the radio, bards are now able to not only be heard in your local tavern, but in your very own sitting room. However, this comes with heavy constraints because, as we all know, a bard can make or break with but one word. Paladins and clerics no longer denoted to being religious or simply oath-bound warriors. All who follow these types of magics must swear to the military. And in any world and in any setting, a rogue will still be a rogue, a fighter will still be a fighter, and a barbarian will still be an angry man with a chair. The world has forgotten the ways of those outside the walls. The age of heroes is gone. The age of industry has begun. Welcome to Shoremont, the city of the future. Our adventure begins in the grand hall of a very, very large Edwardian-style manor house. Drinks are flowing, there is music playing, and there is soft chatter heard from the many different gatherings around here. There is a large, open, and very little used dance floor, as well as the very high society decoration of tables all around the edge of the room, purely for standing at and looking important. A mezzanine wrap-around upper floor of this living room is also accessible by 4 different corner-located spiral staircases with a very similar design feel of tables around the edges and golden banisters. The home of the Sivalona family, known for their fantastic theatres and all the productions they've put on. They recently had a bit of a setback. Their main theatre, the Sivalona Apollo Grand Theatre, was horrifically haunted. Apparently a young ingenue there had gained the attention of a revenant, a former patron of this particular theatre, who decided that any who received a part that was not the young ingenue he had formed an attachment to deserved to be strangled. Now, you may have heard that story before, but it does not have the ending that you're probably used to hearing, because the Order of the Axe and Flame stepped in, and they dealt with the Revenant, and as a thank you for doing such a wonderful job, as well as the free publicity that will come from them being here, an invitation has been extended to the Order to attend this party and celebration. Decadent ball gowns, 3-piece suits, tails, top hats and ties. That is the standard affair that we see here today. But we're not going to focus on the general crowd. Our attention will be drawn to 3 of the audience in particular. And it's at this point where I'm not going to look for volunteers. I'm going to just roll a dice to see who's going to be the first to introduce. So it feels like a dice roll like this should be something substantial. So we're going to use the big steampunk metal dice. On a 1 or a 2, I will pass to Ash to introduce their character. On a 3 or a 4, I'll pass to Rhiannon, and on a 5 or a 6, I'll pass to Luana. Well, would you look at that. Rhiannon, it seems that you would be the first to introduce. So as we turn our attentions towards one particular member, Rhiannon, would you mind introducing your character for us, please, and give us a brief description of what we're looking at?
So, my name is Selena, and I'm not quite sure of all of my origins, but I am aware that I am from the Duskborn bloodline, and that I have a general sort of roguish nature, and I'm pretty light-fingered in the thievery and thievery department. But I tend to have also an odd craving from time to time, which is to devour people's dreams. Don't know where that comes from. I find myself in the Order of the Axe and Flame as I had grown up on the streets, having been orphaned. I grew up on the streets of Atuma, and tried my best to pickpocket the bodyguard of a very important person, the Viscount Dumas. And unfortunately I was caught red-handed. And so was to pay off these debts. They told me keep the item that I had stolen, but that I was then to pay this off by working in the Order of the Axe and Flame. And I'm pretty salty about it, one might say. So, and I've been there for many years. many years.
Fantastic.
So yeah, that's a bit of me.
So where would we see Selena at this party? Is Selena a bit of a social butterfly or more of a fly on the wall?
I would say that Selena is she's probably kind of lurking close to the shadows. It's definitely where she feels most comfortable. But at the same time, wouldn't necessarily shy away from a little bit of sort of polite conversation, but she would definitely feel like she was slightly taking the mick out of whoever she was talking to. She's quite sarcastic like that. But yeah, generally sort of candlelight, I would say. Candlelight to mid-shadows is probably where she is. Lurking.
Fantastic.
For want of a better expression.
To start us off then, I'm going to ask you if you could please confirm for me a detail that I'm going to need right now based on your character is referring to what we're playing today, which is an introduction into the Gothica Plague Worlds setting. There's a little thing in this book known as your appearance rating. How good your outfit is. How much do you, as the kids say nowadays, how much are you slaying right now? So what I'd like you to tell me is, could you tell me your appearance rating?
Yes. So, I have got a dinner now. Is it with the starting ones that we're starting? I've got a dinner jacket.
So your whole fancy getup.
I have my my dinner jacket, my cravat, and my masquerade mask, which would give me a rating of 4, I believe.
So your appearance, so 8 plus your charisma plus whatever you get from your outfit.
Yeah. So just to ask, actually, does this include? It gave you the optional of 2 on top of that, which was a headpiece and a body piece, or is that later potentially?
So your items of clothing, if you're talking like a head, it would be like your, if you've got a bow or a top hat or like that or anything like that. Eye patches, glasses, masquerades. If you're talking about the resistance gear, that comes in later. So no, you'll just have your fancy clothes on. You won't have
so my fancy pants would take me to an appearance score of 4. With my
And then we add on your charisma rating, your charisma modifier, sorry.
Is +2.
+2. So that's a total of 6. Plus 8 was a total of 14. Okay, so with an appearance rating of 14, do we attract any attention? Let's see. Let's see
find out.
Okay, cool, awesome. So while you are doing your best to kind of suit the part here, and as people are coming over and you're being just a little bit, just the slightest a soupçon of mockery in your tone and how you speak to them, but you do garner the attention of someone. Someone is going to come over, a very, very, very portly gentleman, very evidently of some form of elven heritage. The fine features and the pointed ears give it away. However, he's doing his best to look very much like a sophisticated high society gentleman. He has the curled and waxed moustache, the monocle, and while not a top hat, he is sporting a very fine flat cap. And well, the shirt that he has is high cut, very, very starched high collar. No tie, but he does have quite the lovely cummerbund around his rather voluptuous stomach. He's going to find his way over and give it quite a... I say, I do adore your mask. From what origin is it?
I would care to possibly look down my nose slightly at this gentleman. I say, well, I'm afraid if you have to ask, then it's probably too expensive for you.
A fellow of the fine taste, I see. Very good, very good. What? It's not often that you see one of the fairer of appearance wearing quite as fine a jacket as you're wearing. I do say, quite brave of you, quite brave. Are you familiar with the family at all?
I would probably have to say that it was gifted. It was gifted by the family. We are in fact very close. As a small token of gesture of their thanks for a job that I did with them several months ago.
Oh, yes, I heard. Terrible thing. Well, though it is to be expected when you convey yourself to the finer liberal arts, isn't it?
Indeed.
Yes. One should stay safe, find themselves a good desk in an office, and do business.
Oh, and is that where you find yourself seated?
At this point, he kind of pulls himself. You know that guy kind of they grab the edge of their jacket and the elbows do the little swing. And he pulls out. That is exactly where I find myself. I am an insurance provider for all who purchase Arctech goods.
Really?
Yes, indeed I am. Indeed I am. If you've driven here in a carriage today, then you'll no doubt be insured by my fine self.
Fancy. Indeed. I feel like my character, owing lots and lots of money, unfortunately, to her patron, would be inclined to kind of possibly pry a little bit. Is there any way that I might be able to kind of have an idea just how minted we might be talking?
In that case, I would like you to roll me an insight check.
Okay, let's have a wee look. Okay. 11.
11.
Yeah.
On an 11, you gain a sight of this person.
Mm-hmm.
The outfit that he's wearing fits very, very well. However, it lacks all of the kind of finer things you would expect from a complete outfit. Well, he does have the coat and the trousers, and he does have the snazzy, shiny, spat-like shoes.
Mm-hmm.
A cummerbund isn't really quite the highest of societal clothing you would expect. It would usually be a fine sash, or just simply a well-ordained belt, or even, dare I say, some suspenders, as long as they were under a fine waistcoat. But this man is sporting simply a cummerbund, nothing else, relying simply on the girth of his own rather well-maintained stomach to keep his slacks from falling down. And a top hat, or even in some cases simply no hat at all, would always be the care fare within a high society dwelling. But yet he's come here with a bowler hat, albeit a fine one. So he looks to have taken the finer parts of two outfits incomplete to make a complete outfit, meaning that this man is probably less on the high society end of gatherings, and has probably wangled his way in from a kind of middle class, a middle class setting to here.
I see. Well, then I will say to him that it is simply such a shame that the carriages are so well built, and that not many folk are having to apply for the insurance these days.
I do like that very much, so I'm going to actually make him roll a little saving throw on that, because that is quite fun. Little saving throw there. Red up his neck to the kind of like napes of his cheeks as a blush sets in. He becomes quite embarrassed, and he's like, well, yeah, so, you know, not as good as many would like to. What? Coming over, good chat. It was lovely to speak to you. Do look about, and he's going to hand you a card. A card that will link you towards Korean brokers for the finer arc wares. Thank you very much for that, Serena. That was a lovely little interaction. That was very fun. I'm now just going to round robin it from the way our little screen is set up, meaning that Ash, it would be yourself who is up next. So as we step away from the rather brutal takedown that this poor elven broker just received, we find our way to where? Where do we find yourself?
Amongst the other guest, there's a small circle that seems to have formed around a half-elf, younger-looking female. Despite wearing a quite elaborate gown, it is in stark black, making it kind of look like it should be part of a funeral, but is more similar to still a party dress, but just all in black. She looks very at ease amongst the company, and one would notice, if they hadn't seen this person before, in particular, a floating skull right beside her that seems to be partaking in the conversation as well, occasionally giving a dad joke or two, just engaging with those around. What this person is doing is generally giving tidbits of information about some deceased people that the other guests may be inquiring about, just giving affirmations that their loved ones are fine, but that if they do need to hear more, if they want to contact their loved ones in further conversation, that they'll need to be joining Sybil Blackwood at her why am I blanking the word? On her patriarch's home, the Von Vessens, that they would need to come see her there for a more in-depth seance.
Fantastic. Now, I'm going to ask the question that we all really want to know here. Does the skull have a name? It's okay to say no.
Does the skull have a name, DM?
Does the skull have a name? Well, do you know what? Let's lean into this. Does this skull have a name? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say the skull does have a name. The skull, I need to think of a name that sounds just jaunty enough to fit the description you gave of them. All I can think of in my head right now is like characters from Beauty and the Beast. I'm like Cogsworth. The skull's name is Chattersworth. And Chattersworth believed himself to be a fine gentleman. Whether that is true or not, perhaps we'll find out. But yes, Chattersworth the skull. Oh dear gods, I need to come up with a voice for someone called Chattersworth. Okay, cool. I got it. So Sybil, you're in the midst of a throng of guests here, you know, and you're is Sybil quite genuine with her readings, or is it the performative, sympathetic hand?
It's very performative, very like, I am selling you on the value add of, I am just telling you what you want to hear, but just enough to make sure that you want to come and hear more later on.
Everybody's family member is here, they're all doing well, they've all got a mansion in the next world, that kind of jazz.
Oh, they're trying to tell me something. Oh, but I need an object of theirs. We're going to have another time to focus on this.
And as you're doing this, Chattersworth is moving up behind you. As you move on from each one to each one, and Chattersworth is moving in, being like, if you have a group, then we can organise some kind of discounted rating. But, you know, for the most part, if you're going to sign up, then you're going to sign up and you've got to come along, you've got to bring all your gold. I promise that you will leave with at least something in your pockets. And then just giving a kind of sideline glance. And then back. And then glance. And then black. He's a floating skull. So there is nothing here. There's just a skull in midair, bobbing around as if it would on a boat. For some reason, I imagine that he doesn't float like this. He floats like he would be walking. So Sybil, what do I have with you? Let's have a little look here, shall we? Fantastic. Sybil, what is your appearance rating? You described the ball gown that you have on, but if you could give me your appearance rating, I would love to hear that.
It is 16.
16, a rather fine specimen here. Okay, so on a 16, obviously, as you said, you are garnering quite a bit of appearance. Garnering quite a bit of attention, sorry, is what I meant by that there. And somebody is going to approach you, dressed finely, elaborates of high society, all in black. But it's only all in black until the light hits them. And then it's actually more of like a really, really deep teal colour. You know that kind of colour that is so dark it appears black until it catches the light and you get the littlest sheen of colour? It's that. Walks with a cane which has a kind of like from the middle coiling up to the top of the cane before resting on just an orb about yay big. It's a pseudo-dragon. Or at least a metallic effigy of a pseudo-dragon. And as they approach, they're going to stand at the back of the crowd, watching you work your magic. And then they're going to extend a hand, just slightly into the air and say, "And what, pray tell, could you inform me about my loved ones? See, I'm very close to my dear departed mother, and I'd like to know how she's faring in the beyond."
I completely understand your concern. May I ask if you have an item that belongs to the departed?
I do, as it stands. And he's going to, on his hand, take off a signet ring. And he'll hold out the signet ring. The signet ring matching very much the affair of the cane. There is a small bluish, like a deep teal colour inlaid stone with a silver filigree coiled up pseudo-dragon on the ring. And he'll hold that out to you. And while his voice gives all of the kind of like, all the sadness and sorrow of someone who misses their mum, his face is damn near blank except for the slightest little raise at the corner of his mouth as he's going to hand it over and say, "I'm so lost without her guidance."
Sybil will take the item and close her eyes. And she'll just say, "I want you to focus on the image of your departed loved one. And just focus on them. And let's try to make a connection."
He mirrors your hand movements. He's like,
Yes.
and he does the performative.
Chattersworth, come here. Help me.
Chattersworth comes over. Help me. What?
We're going to be talking to a loved one.
Oh yeah. We are reaching into the beyond. Well, one of us is, because one of us doesn't have arms.
And Sybil will cast Eldritch Heart.
Okay. So, reaching out, casting a lovely little spell called... sorry, not casting a spell, using the ability of the Eldritch Heart. This is one of the features from our little Gothica Plague Worlds Warlock subclass. Warlocks of the Departed, I believe it's called. Yes, the Departed have this cool little thing called the Eldritch Heart. You can sense the beat of all living hearts within 30 feet of you. Picking one visible creature, you may attempt to control their heartbeat. The creature must make a wisdom saving throw against the warlock's spell save DC. And on a failed save, you may increase or decrease their heart rate. So what's the DC that I'm rolling against here?
14.
14. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I was reading the other effects of that there. So that is going to be a 12, which is a fail. Now, are you looking to increase or decrease their heart?
We're going to decrease it.
I loved the look in Rhiannon's eyes there as somebody who's like, I know what this does. Would you like to tell everybody what decreasing the heart rate does?
Yep, so decreasing the heart rate causes them to become lethargic and weary. They lose the ability to use their reaction and their speed drops by 5 feet. So, Sipil's just gonna slowly lower his heart rate, make him feel lethargic and weary, and dramatically Sipil's gonna be like, I feel them here with us. They're trying to reach out to you.
He, the thin sheen of sweat comes across his face. He gets that kind of, that greyish pallor around him as he starts to, the cane is no longer a decoration at this point. He's actually putting some strain onto it as he leans on. You're rather good at that. And Chatterworth is going to lean into you and be like, oh, I don't think he's got the heart for it. And then look at you with that very expectant, come on, give it to me, get, no, oh, okay.
And Sipil's gonna be like,
he's like, what? I have a job to do and I'm doing that. Right, sorry, you're right. Reaching out to the beyond, somehow without arms. What I'm going to do is, depending on your next choice of words/actions here, I'm going to have him make a roll. Either way, it'll be with disadvantage, but it'll be a different roll either way. So what I'd like you to do for me there, please, Sybil, is what's your next step? You've got him to the point of, like, everybody can see the physical effects, so they're like, oh my god, she's doing it, she's doing the thing. So what's your next step here?
They're trying to connect with you directly. They're trying to communicate with you. They're using me to try and tell you something.
Okay. And not them, because they're, your eldritch heart is currently causing them to gasp for breath. So somebody else is going to, what are they trying to tell him? Speak to the man, damn it! What are they trying to say to him? Or is this to find out you'll have to pay the subscription fee of $6.99?
Yeah, this is the
subscription.
You have to come visit me.
Chattersworth is going to immediately zoom right in. He's going to come right in front of your face and be like, "Unfortunately, we just can't. We can't grasp forward. So we're gonna have to arrange a private reading. It's gonna be."
Sybil's gonna faint slightly. Like, oh.
Chattersworth comes down and floats right in between your shoulder blades and kind of bobs you up a little bit.
It's too much. It's too much for tonight. Whatever they're trying to communicate, it's a heavy burden.
On their I had them roll a constitution saving throw on this, as everybody is gathering around Juna. Oh my god, is she okay? Some moved, let her breathe, damn it. This guy is like walking away, leaning heavily on his stick, on his cane, and using the wall to kind of guide him out of there.
May I ask if this guy is he anywhere near my side of the wall? Because he sounded...
I'd say upon leaving, he probably is going to come by you. Albeit, I'm going to be very realistic about here. Okay, so that's not a great roll to begin with, and we're going with disadvantage on that. Okay, cool. So, on what I guess, like, as much as this is not really something that exists, your stealth modifier. If I was to take your stealth plus 10, what's the number I'm getting on that?
For myself, sorry.
Yes, for yourself. So if you take your stealth modifier and just add 10
Plus
to it,
5. So
plus
15.
5, so a total of 15. Okay, so if we were to take the idea of a quote-unquote passive stealth, how natural you are at blending in without any real attempt, he doesn't see you in his partially delirium-filled state as he's going to hobble past. So yeah, I'd say he would pass. Within, I mean, if you spot this guy from a mile off, you're a rogue. You know how to make a mark. So you can sidle along the wall just so that you arrive at where he will pass by right at the opportune moment. Is there something you're looking to do there?
I don't know. I mean, maybe one would care to lighten this poor fellow's burden somewhat.
I mean, he does seem to be struggling with walking.
Struggling.
Seems like he's carrying a heavy load.
It seems like it's or a heavy burden, as Sybil said, you know.
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
would
I mean,
care to unburden him should any of that
Fantastic.
hang
Well,
around
in
his
In
pockets.
that case, what I'd like you to do for me is, I'd like you to roll me a sleight of hand check with advantage, and I'm going to give him a little active No. Okay. Your sleight of hand check, you're looking to beat a grand smashing total of a 7.
Well, with advantage, I rolled a 15 plus 5, so I got 20.
A 20 with daddy issues. Awesome.
Yeah. One might say.
Oh, that's a new thing that started here on World Tree Quest. I'm doing everything I can to get away from the standard dirty 20. So far we've had a 20 that hangs out on street corners, a 20 with daddy issues. My personal favourite so far has been a 20, but it likes to call itself a Sagittarius. Which I took particular offence to because I am in fact a Sagittarius. I don't know what that means. I'm not one of those people that's informed
good,
on that thing. But people say to me, "Oh, we can definitely tell you're a Sagittarius," and I'm like,
Thanks.
"Okay, cool." Fine. I don't know what that means. But yeah, so you can say dirty 20 if that's what you want to say, like a modified 20 or anything like that. But if you come up with creative ways, I'll probably give you like inspiration because that shit's funny.
Solid.
But with that modified 20, you dip your hand into pocket and you're going to pull out, you'll probably be very pleased to hear, a wallet.
Excellent. Drinks on me, fellas.
Absolutely. I mean, it's an open bar and there's champagne trays all around the place. But sure, drinks on you.
Excellent.
Thank you very much for that, Sybil. With that, we are going to move and we're going to focus on the last person on our party here. Luana, would you like to please introduce your character to us and give us a description of what we see here?
So, in the spotlight of it all, mingling amongst the high society like they belong there, there is a very, very pale, ashen, white lady with the brightest ruby hair. Her dress is in a gorgeous
Oh, we've had a little jump in the internet there.
black velvet, but much like the gentleman
We had a little jump in the
okay,
internet. Can you start describing your attire again? We got the ashen skin and the brilliant red hair.
Yes. With a dark velvet dress that, much like the gentleman, once is in the right lighting, shifts to this beautiful maroon color. And she has a cane as well, just an ordinate cane, with I don't know how to pronounce the name, but it's also the ring that the gentleman had.
A signet ring.
Yes, that with a big ruby and encrusted around it primordial writing.
Oh,
And
okay.
they're laughing and chatting with the high class, very much belonging there. You know, they're very used to this sort of thing, very eloquently spoken. And yeah.
Fantastic. And what is this? What is this ashen-skinned, red-haired, velvet-dressed person's name?
Melpone Afi.
Melpone Afi. And from what I understand,
Yes.
they like to go by Mel.
Yes, that's
Fantastic.
what everyone's just Mel, you know, for everyone.
And what is Mel doing here? Are they socializing? Are they performing? Are they investing? What's their current actions here in this party?
Well, they were definitely invited with, you know, the rest of the crew by the order, but they act, you know, they're talking to the Sivalona family about the theaters, as she herself was a patron of their arts, you know, watching the many pieces herself, and absolutely, you know, flabbergasted by what happened to the theaters.
So we have here a fellow performer speaking to some of the family that owns the largest and grandest theatres in the city of the future, Shoremont. As you're speaking to them, the Sivalona family are one of the few families that are quote unquote untouchable in this city, with the head of the family. Whatever did I name him again? Bear with me a moment. Alexios. With the head of the family, Alexios Sivalona, a former performer himself, however, not quite as well heralded as some performers in the past. But he also had quite a mind for business, and as he stands here, and he's dressed very finely, top hat, not quite the waxed moustache, but a moustache into a fine goatee. Shock blonde hair betraying his high elven heritage. And as he reads in this conversation, he's like, "And Mel, I must admit, while we missed you very dearly in our latest performance, I'm very glad that you were not part of it, so that you avoided the rather horrific crimes committed by that ghastly being." Obviously
Absolutely.
referencing the Revenant who was loose in their theatre. And then he'll say, "But we do hope to have you come by and certainly read in for some of the new productions. We happen to have some of the greatest directors, some even from the western cities, coming in for this show. So you will have to come and grace our stage once more."
Well, that would be such an honor to do. Absolutely. It would be a dream come true to perform once again under your roof.
I truly would be so pleased to have you there. And he's going to gesture, like some of it's like, you know that way that, like, important businessmen would do back in those days, where there would be like, one person of importance, another person of importance who happens to have 10 of their friends around them as they talk to you. He's going to gesture and be like, "I'm sure several of my business fellows and companions here would be very, very keen to support our next production. In fact," and he's going to turn and start to talk to them about the next production, a sort of a tale of taking a commoner and teaching them how to be a member of the finest of society, and the underlying tales that may encroach upon it. He's thinking of calling it My Fair... Oh no, that would never work. No, that would never work. But they're stuck on the name, but they'll figure out something about a pig. We're not sure. We'll figure it out somehow. All
I'm
the
sure
musical
you will.
theatre, all the musical theatre nerds right now are losing it at the fact that the names haven't been said. But you know they're talking over this production and how it's going to be. It's going to be a grand affair. There's going to be he's talking of perhaps bringing in a full band for the music, rather than simply having a standard piano.
I'm sure there would be many bards who would be absolutely thrilled at the opportunity to play under your roof as well.
And we would love to host them. And then he's gonna do that very, very thing of the very, very theatre thing where he's gonna, like, you know, take your hand in two hands, you know, that kind of thing. And he does the lean in and he does the cheek kiss of, like, the, you know, the mwah 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 mwah. We will definitely have to catch up before then, darling. Do help yourself. All of the drinks are available to yourself. I've also made it very clear to all of my guards, and he's going to gesture around to the very obviously guard-dressed people around the room. I made it clear to all of them that should you need anything in the greater areas of the house, you are to be escorted there without question. And if any of them give you pause, you turn them to me, and I'll give them reason to search for a new place of employment. And it's
Once again,
very
you
clear.
flatter me.
Very clear that as well, as much as these words do have an air of truth to them, most of it is just the ability to go, I have an important friend, and I also have this power, and I'm an important man. And then they will wander off with their business fellows.
And once again, you flatter me at your... Yeah, I just...
What's Mel's next step here?
I think, she would look around, and it doesn't take much for her to attract attention. If I counted correctly, her appearance score. Yes, appearance rating. She has also a feather boa and the ball gown dress. So that's 5 plus personal rating. That's also another 5.
Which brings a total of 10, yes, and then you add on 8 to that. So that's a total of 18.
Yes.
Wow, okay. So as this is a high society get together, the average appearance rating that you'll see here is roughly around about the lowest of the low on it goes around about a 12. Okay? 14 is kind of like I'm not rolling in money, but I made an effort. Like, for instance, Selena, the elven gentleman you were speaking to, barely scraped a 12. Right?
That's so funny.
So you've made an effort. 16 is like, I have a bit of money in the back pockets, and what I have bought may not have been bought specifically for this, but it has only been worn at 1 or 2 other events. Whereas 18 is like, what I'm wearing was bought for this, and it probably won't get worn again.
Nice.
Yeah.
So as you mill your way around, and you as you say, it's very an 18. I'm not even rolling for you garner attention where you go. Where do you find yourself moving to? Do you move to the banquet table? Do you move to the bar? Do you move to another person to speak to? Where do we move to here?
The bar, definitely. You know, get myself some champagne.
Mm-hmm. Behind the bar, wearing a stark white shirt, black waistcoat, a black... Do I go bow tie? Would I say bow tie? No, I'm not going to say bow tie. I'm going to say tie. Okay? Wearing a black tie, a bowler hat, and those metal arm restraints you get for like cocktail mixers, so their sleeves don't roll down, with rolled up sleeves. There is a... You know what? We're gonna lean into some of the the societal lows of what it was like back then. An elf. This elf has a kind of like copper kind of complexion. Kind of that kind of auburny, reddish brown hair. I wouldn't say a beard. I'd say probably the chin strap going on. As you approach, their accent gives them away to be somebody of wood elven heritage. In my world of Atuma, the elven heritages are based on areas in the UK. So you have the High Elves, who are based on very telltale, the English. I make no apologies. Then you have the Wood Elves, who are based on Irish. You have the Winter Elves, known for their magical acumen and very, very blunt turn of phrase, who are based on the Scots. And then you have another homebrew race I created, the Mountain Elves, stocky, hardy people who look very, very scary, but are actually incredibly pleasant, based on the Welsh. So as you report, very easy to tell this person of Wood Elven heritage, and they will see you in. They give make me an insight check, please, if you wouldn't mind. So that's
Absolutely. Let me get that real quick.
I'm gonna have to get on my notes here for this part, so bear with me just a little second.
22.
22, awesome. Okay, on a 22. They do smile. It's a very, very polite smile as you approach, but the eyes give away that kind of mood of, oh great, another one. And so as you approach, is that, hello there. What can I get for you there, madam?
Well, I was wondering if you had any recommendations, actually.
Let's see. Do we have any recommendations? Let's conduct our trusty little D&D cocktails guide. Who says I'm not always prepared? He will say, well, the family, the hosts have provided champagne for everyone. However, there are a few drinks that I have specialised specifically for tonight's tastings. There is, and he's going to list 3 drinks. One of them is called the Green Fairy. One of them is called Astral Starlight. And the other one, and he's going to grin as he says this one, he is going to say, this one is a bit of a unique concoction. It's one that I not only took a twist upon, I created this myself. And it's called the She Colour Shot. She spelt Sidhe, as in the Irish word for a spirit, a fae, like the you'd see in Banshee.
Well, I absolutely have to try your own making.
Okay. Then he will begin to make this drink. And as he does it, he takes out this strange fruit that seems to glitter. He takes out a jar which has these little beans which glisten like they're coated in honey. And a bottle from his pocket which is kaleidoscopic in its colours and how it constantly shifts, and the shifting of colours inside the glass make a pattern which disappears and comes back anew in a whole different way and shape. And as he takes these all together, I would like you to roll me a perception check. This will be relying on your sense of smell.
That's gonna be 13.
On a 13, the appearance of this drink is iridescent, with bubbles that float downwards. They don't go up, they go down. The scent is floral. Blooming meadows, dew-kissed petals. Oh god, I sound like one of those guys who like smells wine is like, I'm getting hope and the despair of a Teletubby. But he slides this drink over to you, and he says, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope that there's no ill effect from it.
Sip it or chug it.
I would not be a Scotsman if I didn't immediately answer by going chug, 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 chug. It's up to you though. It's very much a.
I do ask the bartender that. Just like so.
Okay.
To
As soon as you mention the word chug, he gets a panicked look on his face. He's like, "Oh no, 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 no! This is a sipping drink. You sip this." I would very much. In fact, I would go so far as to absolutely request and insist that you only sip this drink.
I will trust the artist then, and I will gently start sipping the drink.
Okay. Now I'm going to say I might have described the scent in a very wine-tasting way, but the taste is written in this, so this is not my writings. The taste is delightful and effervescent, akin to sipping on a fairy's laughter. Don't know. I don't know what that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what that is. But I do need you, if you would do me so kindly, I would like you to make for me a Constitution saving throw with a DC of 13.
Oh boy. Oh, that's so funny. That's a 3.
A 3 in total.
Yep.
Okay. So, with a 3 in total on your con save, you are going to feel the effects. Now, you do feel the effects of the alcohol slightly, and how that's going to have its little effect on you here is that when it comes to persuasion checks or deception checks, you will have a roll of disadvantage on them for the next 30 minutes.
Okay. Lovely. Okay. I'll take it.
With that, as we've met our 3 members of this great and noble order and seen their different methods of, dare we call it, socializing at these events, suddenly there's the tinking of a delicate little golden fork on a glass, and all the attention turns to the host of the party. The music and the chatter comes to a gradual pause as Alexios Sivalona gives a toast to those who've arrived, and he holds up his glass and says, I would just like to thank everyone who has attended here today. I'd like to make a few special notices, if you all wouldn't mind humouring a former gracer of the boards, as we call it. And there's a kind of you know that kind of laugh they do. The laugh they do where only their bottom jaw moves, you know, that kind of laugh. And it says, first of all, I would like to thank my gorgeous and my stunning wife for all of the efforts she put in arranging our lovely affair today. So everybody, please, a round of applause. And there's a, you know, that kind of like hand on. Yeah, I love how you all went for it straight away, straight to that. And then it's that. Second of all, I'd like to thank all of my business partners for their contributions and for the fine donations they make towards the theatres and keeping the arts alive in the fine and shining city of Shoremont. And again, another as about 15 men located, and they kind of take that wee stand up they do, and they give the wee nod around. And it goes on to, and last I would like to thank, most certainly not least, the Order of the Axe and Flame, our ever stalwart defenders against the immaterial and the profane, for their great and noble aid in saving the theatre as it was overrun by a dreaded and dastardly revenant. So I would like to thank them, our stalwart protectors, the constant and ever vigilant eyes while we sleep. To the order, and there's a kind of cacophonous, to the order. It's at that point a scream echoes from upstairs in the house. And there's a bit of a ruckus as it's a very rough sounding tongue as you hear a voice screaming and shouting as it runs out there. Can anybody here speak Elvish by any chance? You can speak Elvish. All of us can speak Elvish. Fantastic. This is very obviously a servant of the household, speaking Elvish as she runs and screaming. And it's a very, very dangerous word, no matter the language it's said in, especially in modern times. As this servant is running down the halls of the upper floors, screaming, "It's the plague! The plague is here! The plague's reached us!" Now, a plague can be many things. Certainly disease and such is common within the lower streets. An outbreak of your commonplace typhus or flus, or even something as devastating as cholera and such. Most of these cases are easily treated. A simple wave of a hand, or if you're a known member of society, a visit to a military barracks where a cleric will easily remove such a thing for you. But a plague is a different thing. A plague is a disease with spite. A plague is engineered by some foul being from another plane, by some monstrous creature whose only want is to see and invoke suffering. In our world, a plague is violent, devastating, ultimately in most cases treatable. In the setting in which we currently play, a plague is an incredibly bad thing. Immediately as this happens, people flock to the welcoming chamber, the grand atrium of this house, and they look up the grand double vaulted staircase that leads up to the upper floors, where they can see what looks to be like maybe like the scullery maid of the house, or perhaps even like, you know, one of the handmaidens leaning over the banister. And she now does the thing that everybody really didn't want her to do, and yells in the common tongue. The plague. Immediately, people turning, screeching, running for the doors, trying to, there's everything from the woozy fainting up to and including the gentleman doing the How do our party react to this claim?
Mel will immediately try to do crowd control, unaware that her persuasion abilities have been, lowered a bit. She's just like, calm down, everyone. We'll deal with this in a calmly manner. Just stay in that way. Give me a second.
Okay, so in that case, I am going to say, I would like you to make for me, please, that would be a persuasion check, I'm afraid. So it will be a persuasion check with disadvantage. If you could do that for me, that would be lovely.
Oh man, I love this. That's still 26.
Still 26. You got to love it when it's that kind of reaction there, don't you?
Truly.
So, on a 26, people still listen to you. Even with your speech being slightly, slightly slurred. It's not the grand monologue you're used to making on the stage and such, but people do listen, and the crowd does turn towards you, looking at you with hopeful, worried, and in some cases outright terrified faces, looking to you to give them the next steps on what they should do. To Sybil and to Selena, what are you guys doing?
I think that I would definitely have necked whatever drink I was drinking and probably one off the table. And then I imagine I probably would have wanted to go immediately to wherever that person's just run from. Like, I want to see, have they come from the source, or have they come, how have they found out this information? So I think I want to know where this information has come from rather than just
fantastic. So you're making your way upstairs.
Oh yeah.
Okay, fantastic. As you make your way upstairs, I do need you, if you'd be okay, can you give me a perception check, please? This is going to be based on your sense of smell, in case you have any kind of... Some bloodlines, some species, some races have little benefits to sense of hearing, sense of smell. So in case you have anything like that, it would be a... actually, as much as what your particular species does and doesn't have, I'm going to say, as a DM, I think it would lean towards this. So I'm going to say if you could make me that perception with advantage.
Okay. So that's a 15.
15, okay. This will be something that, from what we've spoke about, you'll be familiar with in the description. The familiar, the scent of rot. Very specifically, like the sickly sweet, almost pus-like smell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of sloughy.
Yeah, sloughy. That's the perfect word to describe it. That's the scent that you get as you step up. You're not even at the top of this like vaulted staircase yet. You're about halfway up it before you get that, and it's definitely a travelling smell. It is wafting down. Like, this is going to hit the main population in T-minus 30. Like...
Okay. I
will still be able to hear you all. I'm just grabbing a book.
No worries. Is there any way that I am able to, like, seal, at least, put, like... Is there only one sort of staircase down into the main hall, or is there many bits feeding into this main hall? Can I seal off it?
So it's one of those, like, when you go into like fancy houses and they've got those two big vaulted staircases that go upstairs. It's like that, and it's an open floor. So there's no way to, in order to stop it from being so evident, you would have to move them away from the bottom of the stairs.
So we need to find a way of getting people out or below, like, depending on what our options are.
So the options would be as then going back into the room they just came out of, which is like the entertaining room. It's got a dance floor. There would be room for like a band if they had that kind of thing in the corner. On the other side would be the drawing room. Where the men go to talk business and cigars and brandy, and the women go in another place and do like embroidering and jazz.
Okay.
Because
so I guess my two thoughts is I either try and get to where the band is and therefore a microphone and maybe like tell everyone to to congregate in a particular area, or I go into the drawing room and see who's about. I think I'm going to go for the stage. I'm going to head towards the stage, I think. Okay. I don't know how far away the stage is.
So if you're making your way back down the stairs, back into the room you came out of, I'd say you can we're not in like an initiative order right now, so it's not like you've got a limitation on things.
Okay.
Just within like a kind of reasonable, like, you can't like nip into town for 2 seconds, go to 2 shops, then come back. But yeah, walking, like, you know, pushing your way through the crowd, excuse me, getting to the stage. It's like a little, like one of those personal stages you would have. It's only maybe about a foot and a half off the ground. It's one of those ones you can step up onto it very, very easily.
Okay. And I will do that, and I think I'll try to address the crowd.
Okay. Despite it being a Victorian Edwardian setting, we do have a certain level of technology here. One of them being a hanging microphone, which is powered by Arctech.
Fortunate. Okay.
And somebody's already charged it with a first level spell, so it has about 2 hours of quote unquote battery life in
usage
it.
time. Okay. Now that I've identified roughly, at least it sounds like it's going to be something that may be contact, and it sounds like something that could be smell as well, maybe as like
above table you would understand it if you've smelled it.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not travelling through an airborne capacity, because if you'd smelled it, you've breathed it in.
I've got it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So I think that first I'll just try to say to everybody, like, kind of like, now everybody, can you hear me? Is this working? Is this on? Everyone, I need a puzzle.
Kind of feedback on it as you, but then everybody kind of turns round and is looking at you.
Okay. I guess if there's an easy, I'm assuming there's not going to be anything that's like, you know, I think we need to evacuate this building. I'm going to ask that my colleagues from the Order of Axe and Flame, can you come to the stage? Come to us immediately. We need to help start forming an evacuation plan and getting everyone out of here sensibly. I would ask that nobody go to the top floors. Nobody at this point go upstairs. We need you all to stay here and await further instruction. We will be with you shortly, and we will get this under control.
Okay. So to Sybil and to Mel, you guys have heard the call put out by your colleague Selena, saying that could my fellow members of the Order please report to the stage.
I go, stumbling, but I go.
You head over. Sybil?
Sybil's gonna like side-eye look to her patron, assuming her patron's there, and kind of gives her a side-eye. She'll be like, fine, I'll go.
So Harold, your patron of the Von Vessen family, he's got his wife who is like, you know, doing the swooned over one arm, and he's doing the fanning or thing, and as he sees you, he kind of gives you the yes, go. Well, it's like, come on, wake up, dear, wake up. He's not. I just should be clear. He's fanning her. He's not like rapidly slapping her in the face. He is fanning her in the face.
Sybil will begrudgingly head over.
You guys make your way over, and joining you, there's going to be another member of the Order here, who is going to sidle up, and they look very. They're not they don't look like they're quite handy in a fight, is the probably nice way to say it. Very, very wiry, big old round glasses, that kind of like little middle parting hairstyle with the little bangs that hang down here. Appearance rating probably a 12, like, you know, pulled it together just in time kind of thing. And they're going to kind of sidle for him, like, hi, hello, members of the Order, yes?
Oh, I kind of love them already.
Officially adopted.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, it's Kesselise all over again.
We are kidnapping him. Them.
He appears to be human. Dark hair, no facial hair. Very, very, like, you can see the obvious little nicks on like the underside of the chin. Very like clean shaven. The thing that will stand out most about him is that despite his wiry frame, big old gun right on the hip. I'm talking like a revolver like Hellboy would carry. Like on this is a revolver, but on this kid it looks like a shotgun. Like he carries it like this. Big old gun.
I look at it for a second and back at him. I'm like, you compensating?
Can I high five you for that? It's like,
I missed the high five.
just slaps me in the face.
I'm just a very good shot.
Okay, Sparky.
Noted.
A nickname. I've never had one of those. And then he kind of tries to do it in his best, like kind of like James Bond kind of looking, and kind of, what are we dealing with?
So, by the looks of it, chaps, I think we've got about 30 minutes till everybody in here is completely cream crackered. It smells like rotting cheese and feed, and I have no desire to put my face anywhere near it.
So there is a distinct scent to this.
Sickly sweet.
You see him go into like a little notebook and start writing.
Okay, so we've got a bit of Q on our hands. Excellent. Yes, it's definitely giving honey over grandma's toes. That is the smell that is hitting you up the top of the stairs.
And,
Sybil's gonna finally turn to the human and be like, sorry, we haven't worked together before. What's your name?
Oh, sorry about that. My name's Edgar. I'm new to the order. I've just been taken from the front lines.
Front lines where?
My previous placement was I was a runner for the wall. A runner being a commonplace position of, like, as I said, the military guards the protective walls around the cities, and a runner is like whatever the soldiers need. They run, and very, very literal, they run and get it and bring it back. Ammunition, they run, they get it, they bring it back. My gun's jammed, I need a new gun, they run, they get it, they bring it back. I left my shield under my pillow, they run, they get it, they bring it back.
Quick on their feet and does as they're told.
Very much so, yes.
Lovely.
Fantastic.
And he's going to do it. He's going to do it very much in the way of like Sebastian from Black Butler. He's going, I'm one hell of a runner.
He looks so proud. Okay,
he gives a big smile as if he's just said he's won the Nobel Prize. He's like,
He's giving Hufflepuff vibes of I'm a particularly good finder.
100%. Like that's the bullseye right there. He is 100% the Star Kids Hufflepuff. Like, we're really good at finding things.
Excellent. Well, at least he'll be able to help herd the people. He'll be able to run laps like a sheepdog. Perfect.
Edgar, can you give us a second?
Oh, of course. And he's going to take 3 big steps back.
Not off the stage.
Sybil's going to turn to the other two and be like, so what I'm thinking is we send him upstairs to see what's happening.
He will immediately die.
I was going to say, I feel like I
can then talk to his corpse to see what's happening.
But at least if we know, do we want to look at it any further than knowing that it's coming and that it's going to be sort of within 30 minutes, it's going to be a serious problem?
I mean, my preference would just be to run and protect ourselves. But if we have to deal with this...
I'm also in favor of we could do that and kind of get as many folk as we can. I mean, preferably the ones that are very rich and might pay us afterwards.
Or,
because I'm awful.
Just a thought, we can try and actually save people.
Oh,
like we're hired
like
to do.
Our actual job.
Yeah. Because I have a reputation to, keep.
I mean,
And
I guess, I understand. Yes. Fine, we will save the people. We will save the people.
and that includes Edgar, by the way.
Oh, I like
Say
him.
to Sybil.
He's he's just very chipper, isn't he? He's just chipper.
Sometimes you have to sacrifice for the greater good.
And you can't send that. I point to your floating skull.
Yeah, the floating skull.
Instead,
How dare you say something about Chattersworth like that?
oh, it has a name. Lovely.
Chattersworth?
Chattersworth.
It's a Pokemon now.
He's
It's
the
a-
he's
it's a
the
parrot.
greatest skull to ever live.
The greatest skull to ever live.
That is an oxymoron in and of itself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Little hike.
There's now a poll in the chat, guys. Go and put your vote in. Will Edgar live or die? Will he live or die?
I'm already attached to him.
Take your choice.
I think it's probably best then that we try and get everybody out, and then at least if we want to investigate it by that point, we'll have cleared everyone out, and it'll have followed us downstairs by that point. So, I think we
So
clear.
send Runner Boy.
Go send Runner Boy to herd people. If he's fast on his feet, then Sparky Chaps can run upstairs, clear the boardroom, and we can start herding people out through the main door.
Upstairs is already.
Oh, so the drawing room was that upstairs, or was that?
No, so the room that you guys are in, the entertaining room with the ballroom and such, downstairs on the right hand side. Drawing room downstairs on the left hand side.
Smashing.
The only room that would be quote unquote room that would be upstairs was if you went upstairs and then went to the right, you would come out on the mezzanine wraparound of the entertainment room. But no, the kind of a scullery maid, the maid servant of the household has come from the left wing, the kind of west wing of the house. So you'd be going up and towards there, which nobody has been in that area of the house yet. Not from the party, anyway.
So send Runner Boy to clear out the ballroom, and we make sure no one comes up or down.
You're very convincing. Do you want to remain doing the convincing people not to come up and downstairs? And I'm happy to go and check out the place that could be potentially dangerous.
You know, I've just drank some liquid courage. I feel like I can definitely do a persuasion really well right now. Absolutely, I'll do that.
And I just me and the floating head boy can always head upstairs. I have a damn wish.
As you reference to me and the floating head boy, and Chattersworth is going to go, see, they're always trying to get me on their arm. Although he doesn't fold his arms because he has no arms.
I was going to say he's got no arms to
skull.
fold.
But he still does he still does the head bobble though. Like he still does the. Basically, if I'm ever Chattersworth, although my body may move, pay no attention, just the head. Like that's all you see. I'm going to get a green
I feel
screen.
like you just have to lower yourself. Yeah. You just have to be like,
So, hold on.
Sybil, what are your thoughts?
This is for when I am Chattersworth.
Excellent.
That's perfect.
Wonderful. It's honestly, where did the rest of your body go? That's insane.
I know, right? Camouflage.
It's a floating head.
it's Chattersworth.
Exactly. That's going to be how I step up and do a costume for next week. I'm just going to wear a black morph suit and paint my head like a skull. Like
I love it.
That's all I'm going to do.
Say less. Say less. Honestly, I'm here for it.
Why did I not make him sound like Skeletor? Until we meet again. Wah.
Yeah.
That went a little bit less Skeletor and more Waluigi.
It's like Papyrus.
Okay, so I think if from what I'm hearing correctly, the plan is Selena and Chattersworth are going to go upstairs. Sybil and Mel.
Yeah.
Oh well, sorry, Mel and Edgar, are apparently going to be getting people out of the house. And Sybil, what is Sybil going to be doing in this moment?
Sybil's gonna be quite apathetic and hang out with Mel and Edgar and is just going to be like leaning against the railing of the staircase and is going to cast minor illusion to create like a flashing light with the arrow to point where to go.
Oh, that's great.
It's just like, okay, my job's done.
I like that.
Okay, so as you cast the minor illusion, preparing for them to be told, Selena and Chattersworth are going to make their way upstairs, and Mel, you're going to try and convince people to move out. Now, I'm going to do something. I'm going to have Edgar specifically do something that's going to give you advantage on this. So at this point, as you've moved away, everybody's getting a little bit chatty again. So Edgar's particular subclass that he has this funny little thing called a warning shot.
Oh god.
Now, a warning shot is generally something like, if somebody was going to attack you, you would reaction warning shot, fire it at their feet or fire it towards their hand, and it gives them disadvantage. But I am going to use my DM magical powers to say this warning shot is going to be in the air, bang, to get everybody's attention. As he just very expertly takes out, spins around the finger to catch in the air and just... And it's like a thunderous bass as this thing goes off.
Go off, Sparky.
The sound of the
Yeah,
plaster cracking in the ceiling as he's going to go, one of my colleagues has some things they would like to say to you. If you could all please open up your ears. Thank you very much. Robocop spin, back in the holster.
I'm like composing myself again after getting absolutely jump scared and like holding my ear, not ready for the shots. Just thank you. And persuasion. Do I still have the disadvantage? Like
No, because he's done the warning shot, you'll now have advantage on this as he's pretty much terrified them all into watching.
Perfect. So that's gonna be... Oh! I got a nat 20! So that's 29 total. But,
29 in total.
Yes, with a nat 20.
29 in total with a nat 20. Fantastic. So, with the firing off, bang, bang, and with you rolling that 20, what do you say to these people to get their attention, to get them moving out of here?
Fair ladies and gentlemen, let's calmly make our way out in a orderly manner that people of our level should know how to act. So if you may, please follow the blinking arrow. Yes, follow the blinking arrow.
And as they all look, and they go, blinking arrow, blinking arrow. Yes. Listen, everybody, follow the blinking. And as they look with the minor illusion guiding them out, it takes them out. Are you sending them out the front door? Are you sending them into another room? What was the arrow pointing towards there, Sybil?
At the front door.
Out the front door. Everybody's been taken out the front door, and as they do that, you can already see Alexio Sivalona is already calling to bring the carriages around. Bring carriages. We'll move it. It's no problem at all. We'll move it to the lake house. It's fine. We'll move this to the lake house. They start arranging to move the party elsewhere. With you and Edgar doing that, Sybil, is there anything else you want to do as this is happening, or are you... No?
She'll just oversee from the staircase.
Okay, just oversee.
No one needs
from
to
the
project
staircase.
manage.
Of course.
Eyes on the floor.
Then in that case, we're going to go to Serena and Chattersworth. Oh, that's...
Okay, Chatterbox.
So I knew there was one thing I would be missing. I don't have Chattersworth's stats opened up. Give me just a little moment, please. While I go in... There we are. Quite honestly, the greatest little PDF that has ever been sent to me in my life. When the session is finished, I have this amazing thing to show you. If I have to live with the terror that this thing exists and has a stat block, then so do you all. It's absolutely that. Here we are. Okay, cool. So you and Chattersworth make your way upstairs. You turn to the left, beautifully decorated hallway. Along the left-hand wall, there are doors. Very evidently doors that lead into certain places. And on the right-hand side, the same. 3 on each side. The only difference being on the right-hand side, the middle door, is a grand double door. All the other doors, single doors. Still grand, but single doors. At the very end of the corridor, on like a dead-end wall, there is another door. This door is open. Slightly open, as if somebody's opened and peeked in.
A jaw. Okay.
No, it is a door, but it is kind of open.
Very good.
Oh, damn
Very
it, that
good.
should have been Chattersworth that said that.
Yeah.
Fuck. Shit.
We'll credit him. You were channeling.
Chattersworth gets the credit for that one there.
I say, okay, Chatterbox. What I'm going to need you to do is have a quick peek through those the doors either side, because he's a floating head, right? So I'm assuming, can he float through things?
Oh yeah, I mean he can't pass through them.
But he can.
I don't think so. Anyway, no. He cannot pass through them.
So
But
would
he
I have
can-
to open the doors, or can he?
Yes,
Oh,
a door
right.
would have to be opened for him.
Okay, all right. I mean, I guess what I'll probably do is go straight for the one at the end
Okay.
to have a look, so I can enter the shadows. So with being Duskborn, I'm very shadow orientated, which is nice. So I think I'm just going to straight up pop to the other end and have a quick just glance through this door, just to see if there's anything going on, see if I can overhear anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't want to go straight in. I just kind of want to check it first.
Fantastic. So you'll have to use your shadow step twice to get to the full end of it. So as you take your first step, your foot touches the shadow and you disappear into it, and you pop up 15 feet away. But it's almost like as you pop up, you just twirl and go right back in and pop out at the door.
How graceful of you.
Yeah, that's so like the epitome of grace. This being another one of the great and amazing creations from this lovely setting we're playing in right now, the Duskborn bloodline. A bloodline steeped in the darkness. Creatures of moonlight, known for their love of moonlight specifically. Duskborn individuals wander beneath the night sky, and a lot of their bloodline capabilities take place in darkness and dim light, so we'll hopefully see more of that coming in. But this one, the Shadow Leap, as you disappear, and you'll do it twice, you'll get to the end, and Chattersworth tries his best to copy you, but really all he essentially does is float down, headbutt the ground, come back up, float down, headbutt the ground, and then like come up next to you. Like, it's almost like his head moves as if he's like combat rolling. And then he comes up next to you like, right, what do you say?
And say, that needs a little work. So, and then I want to do
I know it
some
needs
kind
work. Your pirouette was all off, but I didn't want to say anything.
How kind. So, I'm then definitely going to want to just, and we'll have a peek. I don't know if I need to do any kind of like investigation-related activity. I want to have a listen. I want to see if there's anything before I kick this door open, basically.
Fantastic. So from the basic look you've got into here, it looks to be a bed chamber.
Okay.
You've only got, I'd say maybe, because of the kind of maybe 1 foot gap between the door and the jamb, I'd say going from that cone, you've probably got only about a 6 foot swath of the room here. So based on that 6 foot swath, you don't see anything untoward, except that the window on the back of the room, you can assume there will be a window on the wall facing the door. The window must be open because you can just see the edge of a curtain billowing.
Okay. In which case, I am going to kick the door open.
As soon as you kick the door open, foot up, bang, and you kick this door open. As it opens, it's almost like a reverse waft of whatever's behind it comes around, and you get hit full frontal with that smell of rot, decay. And it's like a steep contrast as the door swings open. It gets about in the middle of the room. Finery, elegance, and then there's lots of invasion of the colour green.
Okay.
As it starts to move over to the corner of the room. In the corner of the room, huddled, there is... From the back, you can tell they are, at least in some way, elven. You can see the point of the ears, but from the back, you can't tell if they're long or short and pointed. You can just see the point. And you can see them doing this against the wall and marking on the wall. But at this point, you can't see what they're marking on the wall. Every now and again, they stop, and it's almost like they touch their arm before going back and writing on the wall in some way.
Okay. Now, am I to assume that Chatterley is do they have any kind of immunity to this kind of thing?
No, not in any way, shape, or form. They are a familiar. They will behave like a familiar. If they go to 0 hit points, they go to 0 hit points, and then they have to be summoned back. But no, they don't have any built-in immunity. They're just a floating skull.
Okay, but they're not necessarily going to die, like officially die. If I send them in there to take a closer look. I mean, I guess they are writing something. I mean, it'd be good to know what they're writing, I guess. But at the same time,
just noticed we got a raid there, so I don't know why it didn't alert me as to why we got a raid. But hello to everybody that raided in. Welcome. We're just getting into the, I would say gritty, but I feel like we're past that. We're just getting into the good bits. Sorry, please continue there. Selena.
So these folk, are they? Does it look like they're? I'm assuming they're very sick. Or
from the back, and they are bare. They're bare topped, so you can see their open back. They don't look quote unquote sick, but there is definitely there's more distinction on like the bones of their body. You can see the backs of their ribs. You can see their spine through it. Okay. So I wouldn't quite go so far as to like emaciated, but you know, definitely quite on the thin side.
I guess that my immediate gut feeling was to see if these people either needed help or needed, in Selena's mind, maybe putting out of their misery. But at the same time, it could be that they're the source of this plague. And so I kind of almost don't... I assume me kicking the door open has alerted them to my presence.
If it has, they haven't reacted to it.
Okay.
But what I'd like you to do is, because you did mention something quite interesting there, could you make me very quickly an Arcana check?
13.
On a 13, okay. So, for the commonplace folk, a plague is a plague, and that's it. It's just a big bad disease. Sometimes it's got a magical origin, and it kind of pays off very badly. To the Order of the Axe and Flame, you've got a bit more knowledge on how you do. I mean, your entire thing is combating beings from extra planes who try to invade into the cities. So you would have a bit more understanding on how these plagues work.
Okay.
Number one, the key thing that everybody understands about the plagues is that they have an origin. The Order has labelled these origins as plague hearts. Now, each species of plague is directly linked to these sources, these plague hearts. And some of them are known, some of them are not known. Some of them have been known and found and destroyed, and therefore the plague has been wiped from existence. If this is a new plague, your immediate reaction would be to identify if there is a plague heart visible or within the area. There's always kind of obvious tells about them. They're almost always incredibly magical, and they are almost always very virulent with whatever plague they give off. So as you look at this person, the chances are is they are not the source. Chances are the source is not near here because you don't have any of your equipment, your gear on.
Yeah.
So if you were nearby the play cart, you would already be making you would already be spotting obvious physical changes about yourself.
Right, okay.
Chances are this is just someone who, in some way, shape, or form, could be nearby, could be in some other far-flung land, has come across this play cart, they've become infected, and it's took hold here.
Okay. I think I'm going to turn to Chatterbox and say, okay.
It's like,
Oh.
let me get into character.
Okay, Chattel Snout. So, I think that the best, they don't seem to be paying any attention to us, and so far we're a safe enough distance to get the heck out of Dodge. I'm going to shut this door. I'm going to leave again. And I think that we just kind of lock it, if there's any option of doing that, and skedaddle in the opposite direction.
Okay, right. Now, hear me out. I've got another option, right?
Okay.
Maybe it'll work. Might not. Might get everybody killed. Might work.
I'm
might
interested
save the
in
day. Might get a medal. Who knows?
I do like shiny things.
What if we get the little wiry fella from downstairs to come up with that big thing he's got attached to his side and
Excuse me?
blow a hole right through the thing?
I like that. It has a certain je ne sais quoi.
I don't know that. It's all French to me.
That's very good.
Oh wait, what would the closest D&D language to French? It's all Marquesian. It's all Marquesian.
It's all Marquesian. I like the sound of that, blowing things up. It's very original. Okay.
I'm a fan of it.
I see. Yes. Let's go find Sparky and see if he'll be able to bring that big old gun up here and get something done. Excellent. You go get in, and I'm going to go sniff out the other rooms.
Cool, got it. And then he's going to do that thing of trying to do your shadow leap, but he's just essentially headbutting the ground,
headbutting the wall,
and headbutting the ground and rolling over again. And Chattersworth is going to start making his way back down towards you guys. I'm going to leave you there, Selena, and I'm going to jump back to Sybil and Mel and Edgar. Well, you're doing your initial investigations upstairs. Sybil, Mel, Edgar. You guys have been here for maybe about 2-3 minutes, having not heard anything. What would you guys be doing in that kind of 2 or 3 minutes? If all the guests are out, all the staff have been they're outside, they've not really went anywhere, they've just went outside the house. So what are you guys doing?
So question, has the smell wafted already to us yet, or...
I wouldn't say the smell has wafted here. I would say there's a change in the air. Okay, it's got that kind of a a little bit of an acrid kind of bite to it. But I guess it would be down to personal sense. So both of you can give me a perception check relying on your sense of smell, and we'll see if anything happens from it.
That's a 24 for me.
24 for yourself. Sybil?
6.
6. Sybil, you don't smell anything. You don't smell anything. Mel, you've got quite a refined sense of smell. So you can kind of make out, oh, yep, okay, I get it now. Edgar, not to lean into the stereotype, but Edward has I have sinus issues. Not. I'm just leaning whole hog into this now. I'm leaning whole hog into it. I literally realize as I say that I haven't taken my sinus medication. So what you're about to see is I need to take a nasal spray. Please forgive me. It's just a nasal spray. I promise. It's because I have sinus issues. Okay. So yeah, Mel, you would be able to smell it. Sybil. Most likely not.
Okay. I think the second Mel smells it. She's gonna gasp slightly and go behind the bar and try to grab some of probably the mint to make the drinks and just kind of hold it with a handkerchief over her nose to block out the smell.
Okay, so what I'm going to say in that case is, because there is a piece of equipment which is essentially just what you've done there. It's just as simple as putting a rag over the mouth and nose. So while you have put together this mint with a rag and put it here, while you have that to your face, that is going to, so your appearance rating is going to go down by 1. So it'll go down to a 17. But you will have a +1 if you need to make any respiratory checks. Respiratory checks are done by, I'm just going to check the back of this book here. It would be a Constitution, I think, from what I'm looking at here. Just double checking at the beginning of this. This is for if you come across a plague that you can contract it by breathing it in. That would be a, yes, Constitution.
Okay.
Okay,
Right.
so if this gets to you and you do need to make a check to avoid being plague-ridden by breathing it in, this will give you a +1 to that check.
Lovely. Okay. And I'm being kind of dramatic about it, I'm just like, oh, great heavens, Do you not, Sybil, are you, Edgar, do you not smell that? It's horrendous.
Edgar is going to come away from taking and a bit, and now all I can smell is the, camphor. No, I don't really smell anything.
I'm not gonna lie, all I smell is still the horrible perfume that most of the people were wearing.
Oh, it was ghastly, wasn't it? Even I could smell that.
I hold to my own perfume.
Okay.
The perfume.
Yours is fine. You were wearing the expensive stuff. Other people were wearing cheap stuff. You can tell the difference.
Right. Thank you. Well, it's been quite a while. Is your skull friend dead?
At this point, Chattersworth is going to come essentially combat rolling down the stairs. He's going to come back to you. He's going to roll up, bump into your foot, get back up and be like, I teleported as fast as I could. Right. So, what are we doing?
Where's
You
the
tell
other
me
one?
what happened in the room.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why I keep waving my hands. He doesn't have hands. Okay, right, okay. So, right. Picture this. Long corridor, creepy, eerie doors, right? And then, and then there's, I bravely teleport in between the doors, right? And then, the other one, she just kind of toddled along after me, And then there's a door, right? And the door's slightly open, right? And then, bam! I just put my head right in the door. Door swings open, and what do we see? Weird, creepy elf in the corner, doing a drawing on a wall.
Artistically?
I say, I mean, I don't know. I'm no, what would you call it? I'm no fine artist or nothing like that. I'm a bit of a. I guess you could say I'm a bit of an artist. I'm a dab hand at the old finger painting, but I say we get our fellow here. What is it she called me? It's Sparky, right? We get Sparky here, right? Him go upstairs, take that big hand cannon he's got there, and blast a hole right through it, and then we're home in time for chips.
Sorry, I'm breaking character.
Few concerns with that plan of yours. I love the enthusiasm, truly I do. But if the creepy elf is the issue with the illness,
right?
Would it blowing a hole through them and splattering said illness all over the room be a good idea?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna repeat what I said slower. Would splattering the illness all over the room be a good idea?
I'm going to roll an intelligence check for Chattersworth, knowing full well he's not having good intelligence.
Not great.
It's not great.
I mean, it's not negative.
Okay, right, okay. So that's a 19 on the dice. So he's going to go, yeah, you're right, actually. Because, you know, the whole splatter thing would cause it to go. That would quite literally spread the plague. Yeah, that's a bad idea. Right, okay.
I'm glad we're seeing it.
New plan.
Mm-hmm.
What if we set fire to him?
Now that, and I snap my finger in a
it's
little,
not bad. In fact, I would go so far as to say it's fucking horrendous. But still, it gets the job done.
a little spark of flame appears from my fingers. I'm just like, I can do that.
Okay, so we've got 2 votes for burn the weird creepy elf. What about yourself there, Sybil? What about you? I mean, usually we're on the same wavelength, you know, so, like, where are we at? I don't know why you're laughing at me. I'm doing my best here.
I love how Chattersworth's just turned into Peaky Blinders.
No, he's not. That is not a Brummie accent. That is a Cockney accent.
Vibes.
Oh, the vibes, yeah. Well, it's like you know how you do the performative thing. Chattersworth is performative. He's a fine, established gentleman, and I do take care of my. But as soon as Blaine's a turn, it's like, right, okay. So what we getting? Hey, who's popping up on the?
Used to be a bard in his past life.
He was absolutely some kind of bard.
I mean, I'm happy to burn him alive, because then, as long as there's a little bit of a corpse, I can speak to him and see, like, where he traveled to.
How much of a corpse do you need?
All you need's a jawbone.
It needs to have a mouth. It needs to have a mouth.
Needs to be a mouth. That's exactly what I said. Thank you for confirming.
Okay.
I can dispel you anytime I want.
I mean, I'm not going to bring into the conversation how bad you are at spelling, but I would not stoop that low.
Don't bring my lack of education into this.
Well, I mean, you're the one that threatened to dispel me, so do with that what you will. Starts like combat rolling around you. Like, don't make me come up there. I'll do it. You want to tumble? Is that what you want to do? You want to tumble? I don't know what I keep doing this. I keep throwing the hands. He doesn't have hands.
I look at him rolling the ground. I'm like, ugh, I don't like it when he does that.
Like to Chattlesworth, he is giving like Dark Souls player level of combat efficiency rolling. But honestly, what this just looks like, it looks like a head trying to find its way back to standing. He's just on the ground, rolling around on his forehead and his crown. He's not really doing anything other than making a fool of himself. But he's trying, and that's the important part.
Can he get a concussion from it?
I don't think he has a brain, if I'm honest. I think he's just a head.
He's literally just a skull.
Just a skull. Doesn't even have
Right.
eyeballs.
The intelligence check was pretty good for no brain.
Literally.
No brain. No brain. No think.
No brain.
Can we just talk about literally the description? Tiny, undead, chaotic, neutral, chaotic punny.
I like him. He speaks to me.
Literally.
Mm-hmm.
So burning.
So burning. Who can burn someone in like one go?
Burn it all down.
You're up.
Edgar is going to go into his pocket and go, I actually do have incendiary bullets.
Wow, that's wonderful.
I've also got tracking bullets, and I've also got one that I invented. It's called a seed bullet.
What does that do?
Well, you shoot somebody with it that plants a seed in them. You know, something nice from something grim.
That's
You're
kind
so
of beautiful.
cute.
What type of seed?
The one I've got here is a cherry blossom tree. Bang,
That's adorable.
bloom.
He is so
You know,
cute.
goes crash, bang, bloom.
Anyways, I love the enthusiasm. We'll say. How limited are your bullets?
So I can make basic ammunition just from fiddling around kind of thing. I've got about 6 incendiary bullets, and I've got 3 tracking bullets, and I've only got 1 of the seed bullets.
Well, I'm not exactly keen on getting too close to the elf. So, I look at the bar. Let's get some alcohol. We toss it into the body, and you use one of your fancy bullets, and I just don't do what.
I mean, you
don't
could
know.
always light the alcohol from a distance or make a Molotov cocktail and lob it.
But that requires aiming.
I can use Mage Hand to like pour the alcohol all around and then
Even better.
Can I throw a Molotov cocktail anyway?
I just want to throw a Molotov cocktail.
I just simply want to blow things up.
So let's get 3 bottles so everyone can have their fun.
I'll be
The other 2
I'll
are
be
for drinking.
I'm gonna be putting in my notes for the Gothica Plague World setting. Common weapon, Molotov.
Yes.
Mhm.
So I guess we go to the bar. We get 3 bottles.
Okay, so you go to the bar. You're able to
Sounds
get
good.
3
Yes.
bottles of like high proof alcohol. It's very easy to
Absinthe.
find here.
Yeah,
Well,
the fairy from the fairy.
Funnily enough, the Green Fairy
Fairy,
cocktail did
yeah.
feature absinthe.
Yep.
Always.
Absinthe, in our setting, by the way, is a concoction that was invented by, funnily enough, as you guessed it, Dragonborn, 100%. And you can tie loads of different alcohols to loads of different species, and I'll give you it right. Absinthe was 100% made by Dragonborn, right? And I will not have that. I will not answer
And I will hear
questions.
nothing more.
I will not answer questions on this matter. So
Not
you
saying
grab
that.
them. You can also
Yes.
grab the rags and stuff them inside the bottles to,
I was gonna say, if you come
Sure.
up, it's like tempted to rip the ugly shirt that I'm wearing. Like,
ripping the sleeves off just to
that's
show
my
the
only
guns.
shirt, and you're like, it's something anyway.
Hey Edgar, you ain't the only one that brought guns to this show.
Yes.
Turns out Selena's actually half orc.
Well, we don't know. We don't know.
In the book it goes. So, you guys go, you get the bottles of alcohol. I'm going to say you can find, do you know what, we'll roll for it. Let's see how many bottles you can find. I know you only need 1, but we might as well be thorough. You find 5 bottles of absinthe, high proof alcohol. Apparently the Green Fairy was popular. And you can find, rags behind the bar in order to, stuff down, make it tight, pour it upside down so that the rag becomes saturated, then put it back in. And you make essentially 5 makeshift Molotov cocktails. Is there anything you guys want to do with those immediately, or are you just preparing those and then making your way upstairs with them? Oh, we lost them. We lost Luana. It's okay. Luana will be back in just a moment. So what I'm going to do is, Sybil, was the plan that you guys were going to head upstairs with those?
yes.
So you guys begin making your way upstairs to the room where Serena is. Hello, Mel's back with us. Fantastic. So Mel, after you've taken Molotov cocktails, you guys are just making your way up the stairs holding these Molotovs just in case, right?
Yes.
What I'm going to say is, I will quickly rule fluff that each of these will do, if you throw them, they'll do 3d6 fire damage in an area of 10 feet from the point of the explosion, and anything that isn't being worn or carried that can be burned will catch on fire.
So the whole place is going down.
I'm just the GM. You guys are deciding what happens. What I'm going to do, therefore, is I am going to bring us to a little midway point, and as they start making their way upstairs, I am going to bring us... I'm going to take us on a little 15-20 minute break. While my players... So my players can go and grab like a drink and a snack and such. Okay? So don't go anywhere, folks. And in about 15-20 minutes, we will be back. During the interval, you're going to see a little couple of things if you are interested in the setting that we're using today, the fantastic Gothica Plague Worlds. There will be some information you'll be able to see during our intermission, as well as a couple of links that you should go check about if you'd like to add this setting to your own library to draw from. Once again, I would like to just make it very, very clear that, as I do with a lot of things, we are not sponsored by Gothica. We're not being paid to say any of this. We are here for the love of the game. And having fun with the setting is certainly a big part of it. So if you will, during the intermission, you're free to go and check out any of those links. As long as you come back, because you'll have to see part 2. Don't go anywhere, folks, and we will see you after our break. I went to the wrong screen, but this is the right screen this time. Hello there, folks. We are back, and we are going to jump from the fantastic Mel and Sybil and the Molotov cocktail plan as they are making their way up the stairs. We're going to jump to Selena. Not Serena, Selena. So, Serena. When it comes to you said that you were going to be kind of jumping between the rooms and checking them out, yeah?
Yeah, just wanted to double check I'd covered all my bases.
Okay,
And,
cool.
if there was anything worth nicking.
So there are 3 rooms on the left wall, 3 rooms on the right wall. The middle room on the right wall is double doors rather than a single door.
Okay.
Are you just going door to door, checking?
I'm just going to go for him. I'm just going to go for it.
So as you go down, right, to make this very quick, as you turn round, the left wall will be on your right and the right wall will be on your left, just so we're in talks about that. So you go to the first one on your right hand side, open it, nothing. There's nothing in there. It's a corridor that leads to another part of the house. You go to the door across from it, open it up, it looks to be a study. Nothing of, but like a very sparse study, maybe like a place where the servants of the house would keep things that need to be done, things that are planned for the day and such. Make your way down the corridor again to the middle rooms. You go to the right hand side, poke your head in here. In the right hand side there is what appears to be like a servant's quarters.
Okay.
As you look around, even for the servants' quarters, they're quite nice. Which leads you to then assume that the door at the end of this hallway would maybe feel like the valet, or a kind of higher ranking servant within the house. As you go across to the double doors and you open them up, that obviously opens up to the back end of the main house. As you open up, leads to a much grander corridor. Evidently, this is like the main entryway. That if the family had to come through this little dip into the servants' wing, they would come through the main house into this door if they didn't come from downstairs. It's when you get to the 2 rooms at the end. On the right hand side here, as you open it up, this is where the silverware is kept.
Excellent.
And on the left, and on the door on your left hand, as you open that up, immediately as you open that, there is a kind of like sloughing sound as the door obviously pushes something.
Blech.
And on the ground in front of you, you can see very evidently, no check needed for this, the remains of a person.
Okay.
Not carved up or butchered or anything like that. Decayed.
Okay.
Months and months of decay.
Months. Oh no. Oh dear, have we just sent everybody out who possibly has plague to the lake house?
Quite potentially. But on this note, because you've opened the door to it, I am going to need you to make me a respiratory check. So that is going to be done by making a Constitution saving throw. If you have anything that benefits your respiratory, which I don't think you have because you don't have your equipment with you, so it would just be a con saving throw on this.
Okay. Oh dear. Got 6.
Okay, so on a 6, it's not going to be enough. So you
Oh
are.
dear.
So as this hits you, it's a hacking cough that you get out of. As one of those deep, right in the pit of the chest ones. Okay, so I would like you to mark on your character sheet that you have 2 plague points.
Stunning.
And as that plague hits you, very briefly you start to hear whispers. Very, very briefly before it dissipates away. But as you do it, and you kind of stumble back from it, and as the whispers disappear, you catch sight of the door at the very end of the corridor, and just standing in it, gaunt and thin, is that elf staring right at you.
Oh no.
And you can just see it for a minute there. You'd be forgiven for thinking it's blood. like on the corners of their mouth, out of their nose, from their eyes and their ears. But it's as the kind of torchlight flickers and you see it's not like a red, it's like a green.
Like sludge.
Yeah. Yeah. Really, really viscous sludge. And
Okay.
in their hand they have maybe like a fish knife or something. Rolls of a dagger, but like it's just like a piece of standard cutlery.
Okay. I'm assuming, have we come to this gig with any of our weaponry? Were we allowed it on the way in?
You would
If
maybe
not-
have been allowed like concealable weaponry, like a dagger or something like that. But nobody's come into a high society party with like a broadsword. Like that's what we've moved on from the kind of like ages where, you know, part of your high society dress was a cavalry saber. We're in the ages where people would, you know, you were discreet. You had like a palm pistol or like a
Yeah.
stiletto knife hidden in the heel. You know.
I think the two that I was gonna go for, I think there was probably a dagger and a flintlock pistol, because I like the
So
idea of.
A flintlock could, I'd say, because of your class that you've chosen, being a rogue, I would give you the fact that you could hide a flintlock.
Stunning.
A dagger
Where I
is
hid
common.
it, no one will know.
A dagger is commonplace for anybody. It can be in the glove, down the sleeve. It could be in your. I mean, the flintlock is fairly easy enough if you've got a coat on. It's in the back.
Yeah.
It's in the back of the trousers.
It's in my suit. I feel like it's in my jacket. You know, I've got.
Okay.
I wanted to stay being able to move around, hence why I didn't ball gown
Well,
up. So I feel like it's
Then
my
in that case, yes, I would say you've got access to your flintlock and your dagger.
Okay.
And they're about 30 feet away from you.
And the as I believe the flintlock is 50 to 150 feet. I'm
You're
gonna
more in range.
Okay. I'm gonna go for a headshot and
Okay.
just see what happens.
So in that case, that brings into the rule that we discussed, the called shot. You are able to do that if you want. So it would be, Ash is very familiar with these, it would be rolling with disadvantage. If you manage to hit, you don't roll damage, it's max damage. And from there, there's also a table you roll on that can be all kinds of things. It could be that you literally blow their head off, and if they can't survive
Oh, they
without
need
their
a
head,
jaw,
they die.
don't they? They need a jaw to be
Yeah.
able to do the coming back
But
from
you
the
could,
dead.
but you could also do. There's a host of other things you can do that could still kill them. They just also would have these other things.
Or I could
That'll
blow
leave
their
it as
kneecaps off, and
could do that.
way,
You can aim for the leg.
because that way at least they can't be running at me.
Very, very true.
Yeah, or torso, bigger bit to hit.
So if you're wanting to do a cold shot, aiming for a specific piece of the body and
Yeah.
getting a bit of an extra on it, the areas you can aim for are arms, which also includes hands, legs, which also includes feet, torso, head.
I'm gonna aim for the torso, I think.
Aim for the torso. Fantastic. So you're aiming dead center mass. Roll to hit with disadvantage.
Okay. So forgive me. What should I roll first? Am I rolling a d20 or?
So how to roll with a flintlock is a flintlock is going to be a dexterity based item.
Okay.
So when you're shooting with the flintlock, it's going to be a d20. You're going to add on your dexterity. And I'd say that at this point, as you are all members of the order, even if you don't take a gun, you can have proficiency with firearms. So d20
Yeah.
plus your dexterity plus your proficiency bonus, which I believe at this level is a 2.
Yeah. So I've got. Oh god, my d20 was a 3. My dex is a 5
So that's an 8.
and 8, and then plus a 2, so that will be a 10.
Okay, dokie. So
I was panicking, and I didn't really want to kill this guy, and I was going, "Oh god!"
absolutely understand. Now, I know what you're thinking. They're 10. This is a household servant, and they're in fact bare chested. So a 10 is actually going to be a meets it, beats it.
Okay.
You just meet the AC, so that's going to be a hit. So I now need you to roll
Okay.
for me 1d8 plus your dexterity piercing damage.
Okay, 1.
And would this be a personal weapon, or is this a weapon you would have been given by the order?
I think this is a personal weapon. I
Okay,
feel
cool.
like
That's
I
absolutely
feel
fine.
like if I'm concealing it, I've probably not told them that I'm bringing it. Like, I'm probably keeping this because it's mine. But this is I rolled an 8, and yeah, so I rolled an
You
8
add
on
on
that.
you add on your
On the
dexterity
deck,
to
so
that
that'll
as
be a
well for the damage.
5, so that'll be 13.
13 damage. Yeah, even the highest and toughest of commoners only have 10 hit points. So you pull this out and you're just dead eyeing, staring it down, and then as soon as they take a step, there's that god awful roar of a flintlock as this metal ball bearing sized flint flies towards, and it's a visible hole straight through the chest. In so many movies and TV shows, you have the whole before they drop. In reality, it's more like a sudden drop. It's the sound. It's the sound of soaking wet laundry hitting the ground as it's just as they crumple to the ground under that. And even while you're looking at that shot, that's a dead shot. That is an instantly dead shot. Even with that, you can hear whispering. Not like you heard it before. You can hear them whispering.
What, the dead elf? The dead
Yep.
elf is whispering.
You can and you
Okay.
can see their mouth moving.
Can I approach until I can hear what they're saying? Can I?
You can indeed.
I don't want to get too close. I don't want to get closer than I have to. I just
Absolutely.
want to go up close enough that I can hear what they're saying.
You approach and you can hear the words they're saying. Almost nursery rhyme-esque. He comes, the Plague Father comes. He comes with his sweeping hand. He'll spread his gift, his lovely green gift, until everyone is covered in the land. It just keeps repeating that over and over and over and over, until eventually the whispering fades and the elf's head catches up with the rest of his body. Just as the rest of your allies come round the corner holding Molotov cocktails.
I'm just gonna. Can I drink that absinthe at this point?
We'll have to wait until next week to see that, because unfortunately that is where we're going to have to wrap for today. Thank you for everybody that came to see us, and thank you for my fantastic cast, and thank you for Inkblade Publishing for giving us this lovely game. Very quickly, I would like to, as we do here at 103 Quest at the end of every session, we do MVP voting. So I would like to start off the MVP voting. I want to give I'm actually going to have to roll just a random d6 on this, because I think all of you really contributed, really leaned into the parts of it. So I'm just going to roll the d6 and see what it gets. 1, 2 Ash, 3, 4 Rhiannon, 5, 6 Luana. That is a 2. So I'm going to give that to Ash. One of the reasons why I couldn't pick here was because Rhiannon leaned right into the attitude of Serena. Luana, the absolute fucking grace of leaning into the curve of, yep, I failed it, I'm now technically drunk, but do you know what, we're going to roll with this. And still pulling off an amazing feat of it. And Ash, not only the absolute performative sympathy of a true seance maker, but also you gave us Chattlesworth. So I'm going to give my vote to Ash. Ash, any vote for the MVP here?
You for doing Chattlesworth.
Okay.
I think it's that I've got to say the same.
Okay, so that's 2 votes for the DM. Okay.
My vote was actually gonna be for Rhiannon for the amazing character. Like right from the start, I could already tell like how your character was gonna be, and it's amazing. You know, just very roguish. You know, not stereotypical, but well known enough that it's lovable by everyone. You know, because we all love the rogue, the sneaky, the fox slyness to it. So my vote's for you.
That's so kind. Thank you so much.
Well, at the end of the voting, we have 1 for Ash, 1 for Rhiannon, and 2 for me as the DM. So I'm going to roll this d20 and see what I get. And this is a portent roll, so I now have a 15. which I can swap out for any D20 roll that happens in these adventures. So thank you very much for that, guys. I'll happily take that. Thank you so much, and thank you my players for putting everything they had into it. Now, if you want to see any of our other sessions, you should come along every Wednesday at the times that we've advertised. It's 9 PM for us here in the UK, 1 PM PST, 2 PM MST, 3 PM CST, 4 PM EST. I'm hoping I'm right with those. And that's going to be every Wednesday for the next 3 weeks after this. So you should definitely come along and see the rest of this adventure. Don't forget to go and check out Gothica at the links I've already put in the chat. And if you want to follow us here, you can go and check us all out at World Tree Quest on any of the social medias. And if you want to see my personal stuff, you can go to Oops All Brands. It's mostly just retweeting the World Tree Quest stuff. So go follow both. I'm not going to say no. I'm going to pass over to my cast now, and I'm going to let them plug all their wonderful selves before we say goodbye. So, Ash, is there anything you would like to plug at all?
No, I am currently a hermit, but if you want to find my very dormant socials, it's Ash Howard Music on most social media platforms. However, if you want to watch me play D&D, currently you can only see me do that here at World Tree Quests in this stream.
Fantastic, thank you. Also, they might be dormant, but go look back over Ash's music stuff until you find them singing Beauty and the Beast. It's fucking haunting. It's stunning. As a big Beauty and the Beast fan. Thank you very much, Ash. Rhiannon, anything you would like to plug at all that's coming up?
Similar to Ash, if I'm playing D&D, then I am here. And other than that, my socials, generally check for Rhiannon Eliza. That'll be me, and Sisters in Swords. That is generally where you'll find me.
Where they have swords and have fun in equal measure.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Rhiannon. And last and most certainly not least, Luana, is there anything you would like to plug at all?
Yes, once again, I am Luana, aka the Witch Bard, everywhere and anywhere. And I can't say quite yet what I'm working on, but as soon as I can, I'll be more than happy to plug it here. But for now, I just have my socials, especially TikTok. That's where I'm most active at. Again, at the Witch Bard. So yeah, that's me.
Fantastic. Well, if that's it from all my players and that's it from me, well then, that's it from us. So thanks for coming to see us today, folks. I have been your DM of Doom, your Plague Master for today. Oops, all brands here on World Tree Quest. And with me today, we have had Ash Howard Music. We have had Sisters in the Swords, or what was it, Rhiannon Eliza?
Yeah.
Rhiannon Eliza. And we've had the Witch Bard. From all of us here at World Tree Quest, good night, stay safe. Make sure to carry paracetamol. It's very helpful. And also, do not pull a finny. So good night, folks. Good night.